Bevan, who tries to work it down the leg side but doesn't get anything on it. Wide ball is called, and delighted to see that our stream is up and running as well, with our commentary being carried on the Glamorgan and Lancashire websites. 3 without loss Glamorgan in this first over, as Williams is in to bowl to Bevan, and he's forward defensively. So to run through this much changed Glamorgan side for you: Bevan and North East opening the batting, Colin Ingram, Kieran Carlson, Chris Cook is back in the side. We believe he will keep wicket. Tom Cullen remains in the side though. Joe Cook returns, having missed the defeated. As Will Williams is in, right arm quick, bowls. Bevan again straights to turn down the leg side. It's well stopped by keeper Lavelle, and they thought about trying to take a single. In the end, decided against it. 3 without loss Lancashire after the first over. You're on BBC Sport Online. Yeah, Lancashire's team info then, just to run through it. The one change, Jack Morley missing out. Danny Lamb comes in for Lancashire, so they go with Keaton Jennings, who's the captain, Luke Wells, Josh Bohannon, Stephen Croft, Rob Jones, George Balderson, George Lavelle, Danny Lamb, Tom Bailey, Will Williams and Liam Hurt. So that's one change from the team that lost at Hampshire. Edward Bevan has been off with intense journalistic research. It's the Oakwood Road end, away excellent. To our right. Good work, Eddie. Good start to the day for him. Here's Bailey running in and bowling. That's off the back foot and pushed away back towards Bailey off his own bowling. There's no run. A couple of slips in place there for Lancashire. Just looking on the pictures on the live stream at the colour of the pitch, it doesn't look quite as vivid as it does from where we are, kind of side on. Well, it's a question of spot the pitch, really. It is from where we're looking at, yeah. It doesn't look too kind of striking on the live stream. Bailey over the wicket, balls back of a length and eased away down towards third man, where Liam Hurt fields, and they get through for a single. North East gets himself a run, so he moves to 2. And Glamorgan a 4 without loss. We are commentating from kind of backward point with Bevan on strike. So just looking over Croft's left shoulder at backward point to the right of screen for those watching on the live stream, watching Bailey running in and bowling to Bevan. That's played forward, and it's gathered by Rob Jones, who comes up from cover, and there's no run. So Lancashire well placed with 7 points. Glamorgan needing to win. Started well, beat Derbyshire very comfortably, and then Kent in a big run chase. Since then it's been on the slide, I'm afraid. Lost to Yorkshire by 23 runs, hammered really at Northampton by 6 wickets, and ditto at Chelmsford by 103 runs on Sunday. Yes, that looked like a bit of a hammering. Wasn't a pleasant day in the commentary box with glaring sun in our faces all day. Halfway through the second over, Bailey comes back in and bowls, edged and taken by Lamb at second slip. Bevan goes for naught. Lancashire pick up their first wicket. Bailey dismissing Bevan, caught by Lamb at second slip without scoring. And we are 4 balls into the second over. 4 for 1, Glamorgan. Yeah, disappointment for Tom Bevan, playing just his second game in this format. Made 14 against Essex at Chelmsford. Glamorgan desperately looking for winning formulas. Bevan earning a place on the back of an awful lot of second 11 runs, but unable to transfer it into first 11 runs, as Ingram comes in wearing a short sleeve shirt. Hardy chap. North East is more sensibly attired in a sleeveless jersey as well. I don't think it's too cold, is it, today? Feels quite Feels all right, doesn't it?
It's a little fresh after what we've been used to over the weekend. Where were you all last couple of games during the heat wave?
And Sunday I've not been home. Sunday I was in Southampton. They played Hampshire at the Aegeus Bowl. It was pretty toasty then. Doesn't feel too bad. Plenty of shorts around. The odd jumper, the odd hoodie. I think you've been a bit soft there, Nick. Ingram on strike. Here comes Bailey in and bowls. That's eased off the hip. Down towards Hurt at fine leg. He jogs through for one, gets his first run, and it's 5 for 1 with 1 ball left of the second over. It does feel like it might rain at any moment, but the forecast was quite optimistic this morning.
Yeah, forecast's okay.
Yeah. No rain today, Eddie tells me. That'll do.
Thank you to Phil Neath, 1981, who says, welcome to Neath. Thank you very much. He's obviously a local rugby aficionado.
Bailey in and bowls, and North East flirts with the ball, pulls the bat. Replay did have a little play at it. Yeah, through to the keeper. And there's no run. End of Bailey's first over. A couple of runs off it and the wicket. 2 overs gone. Glamorgan 5 for 1.
If you wish to communicate with us via the medium of Twitter, I'm NickWebb2017. Are you using your personal or corporate one these days, Scott?
At
BBC Lancs Cricket for Scott, who is operating many radio stations and many, no, not aliases, many tags. Suggests he's made up a name, doesn't it? 5 for 1 Glamorgan after 2 overs as Williams bowls to Ingram, who plays that one back down the ground. And there's no run. We're going to have to get used to the numbers on the scoreboard being batting order numbers rather than shirt numbers. Williams marches back towards a large heap of sawdust. It has cut up a little the outfield during the warm-ups. Very soft as that's allowed to go through outside off stump by Ingram. No shot played. Will Williams, a relatively new name on the circuit, Scott?
Yes, so he signed for Lancashire originally for 2 games. It's a kind of short-term deal as an overseas player. He's played his first class cricket up until joining Lancashire in New Zealand, and he's a New Zealander.
And comes Williams again, bowls, and that's played out on the leg side, no run.
But he was playing some club cricket near Somerset in the early part of the year. Came up to train with Lancashire. They were impressed. They gave him a 2-match deal for 2 championship games. He bowled ever so well, and 2 games became 3.5 years. He has a British passport. His mum's from Kent, so he's now with Lancashire as a local player, not an overseas player. And yeah, short-term deal became 3.5 years.
Williams bowls and Ingram flirts with that one outside off stump. That was a play and a miss. So yeah, Essex had picked up a couple of players on a rather more temporary basis to play against Glamorgan. Grant Rolofson and Ray Toole, who both turned up to face Glamorgan. Rolofson South African and Toole Central Districts. Seems wrong really that a Williams and a Jones and a Croft should be in the opposition dressing room here. Williams bowls, on the back foot goes Ingram, plays it out on the leg side, and there's no run. 5 for 1 it remains.
Yeah, he's done well. There's wonderfully named Will Williams. And he's performed well for Lancashire since he joined the club. Bowled beautifully in the county championship. Looks like a bowler, perfect for English kind of county cricket conditions. Constant accuracy in terms of line and length. Just gets the ball to angle in and then shape away from the batter. He's been terrific.
Williams is in to bowl to Ingram. That goes through low outside off stump and into the gloves of Lavelle. So that is a maiden over, and Glamorgan remain on 5 for 1 after 3 overs. And certainly it's been a very tentative beginning from the home side, as you might expect in these unfamiliar conditions here in Neath, where Glamorgan haven't played a first team game for 27 years. Young Australians played a first class game here, and including several players who went on to be old and revered Australians. And indeed Glamorgan players. Edward will remember more of that.
Here's Bailey to start his second over. Big appeal for LBW. Oh, he's doing it! And North East has gone. LBW off the bowling of Tom Bailey. Second wicket for Bailey, first ball of his fourth over. And shaping to work it towards the leg side. Ball thuds into the pad. Umpire Jack Chantry gave it some consideration and then raised the finger. So a second wicket to go. Glamorgan 5 for 2 in the fourth.
Yes, it is the tricky start that many would have expected in these conditions. Glamorgan playing their first game outside headquarters since 2019, when they played in Colwyn Bay, Swansea and Newport. Couldn't reach agreement on playing in Colwyn Bay quite yet. Hopefully return to North Wales next season. And Neath taking over from Swansea on the first team fixture list because of the state of the facilities in Swansea. But here Neath Glamorgan certainly have got a lot of rebuilding to do, as Kieran Carlson comes to the wicket. He's got 179 runs for 4 times out, so averaging 44. Strike rate of 86, and much to do to revive his side's fortunes here.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of the start that I suppose Glamorgan feared and Lancashire were hoping would be the case. A couple of wickets early on and what looks like a pretty tricky pitch, tricky conditions to bat on. And Lancashire trying to make the most of the opportunity. Bailey ball match. Bailey balls again. Oh, it's disappeared left of Lamb. And they've got through for a run, so a little thin edge on that.
Don't think it carried the slip on what looks like a soft surface, and maybe Carlson just playing with soft enough hands, though Lamb looks somewhat disconsolate as he gets a slap on the back from the keeper Lavelle.
Slightly awkward bounce for him, wasn't it? I think he's hurt his left hand.
He's wringing it furiously at the moment.
So yeah, they have lost players to the 100, but they do carry quite a big squad, and there's a lot of first team regulars playing in the competition. That's chipped out towards deep backward point. Williams skirts around the boundary, and they come back for 2 more. It takes a total on to 8 for 2.
Ball doesn't appear to be running that quickly across the outfield at the moment.
Slow, isn't it? Yeah.
Very soft.
I mean, that edge previously that went, I mean, Lamb I think obviously got something on it, but even with pace taken off it from the slip field, you'd expect that ball to kind of skid on towards the boundary. It just got beyond the 30-metre circle. So yeah, quite a slow outfield. Just off the back foot and turned neatly away by...
Sides quite often came out all guns blazing these days with a new ball at either end. It seems to be very much question of establishing yourself at the wicket and caution first in a lot of cases. Maybe not Colin Ingram's though, as Will Williams bowls to Ingram, who cuts square for 4. First real convincing shot of the innings. 13 for 2 as Ingram moves up to 8. Not out. Glamorgan, if you have just joined us, losing Tom Bevan, caught it slip by Lamb off Bailey for 0. Sam North East leg before to Bailey for 2. As most of the seating is now filling up, there's still room if you're in the area and you fancy coming down. As Ingram glances one off his legs, that one should run away for 4 up to the Oakwood Road end in front of one of those temporary stands.
Isn't it cute, that little temporary stand?
Yeah,
it's lovely, isn't it? You know, a little, looks like something you see at a country show or something like that. It's delightful. I love it. It's well sweet.
There's one either side of the side screen, probably 100, 150 people capacity in each. There's lots of plastic seating around the ground in pretty much all areas. Williams bowls and Ingram dabs this one on the offside dot ball. 17 for 2.
Nice setup, isn't it? It's always exciting, isn't it, coming to a new ground. Never been here before, not been to this part of South Wales before. Set up in Port Talbot last night, and then it's only a 20-minute drive up to the cricket ground this morning. Right, so it's rugby they play there, or is it rugby and football?
No, I believe it's just rugby.
Just rugby, okay, right, cool.
As far as I know. People of Nice, do let me know if I'm wrong, but I believe it's just rugby. As in comes Williams, bowls. Ingram gets one off a bottom edge for 4. Again, down to that little stand at fine leg, and that time was entirely inadvertent. He did leg glance a 4 earlier in the over. That one was a bottom edge, and it went past off stump and to the right hand of keeper Lavelle. So Morgan move on to 21 for 2 with those 3 boundaries in the over. And Williams is again to Ingram, who will get possibly 4 more. That'll beat backwards square leg. Away to the ice cream van that one goes on the 45. 25 for 2. 4 boundaries in the over.
It's perfect ice cream weather, Nick. That's the reason why the ice cream van's there.
It would have been perfect ice cream weather last week. It might be more hot dog weather and burger weather this week.
There's a coffee and donuts van behind the sight screen. That looks quite exciting. I'll have to have a little trip around there later on.
Morgan racing on in this over then, courtesy of Colin Ingram, who defends the last ball out on the offside. There is no run, so 4 boundaries off the over, and Glamorgan after 5 overs at 25 for 2, with Ingram having 16 and Carlson just the single. I'm wondering if one of those was actually, because Ingram had scored runs previous to that over, so one of those boundaries may well have been perhaps the one down to first one down to fine leg was off the pad. Didn't notice the umpire's signal at the time, but 25 for 2 is
just turned out towards the leg side this time. Rob Jones comes from mid wicket to square leg to field, and there's no run. 25 for 2 in the 6th.